All right, audio check. Say something.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
All right, here we go. We out here in Sacramento. We are not camera ready. We out here in our PJs looking foolish.
Quite literally.
Like if that storm came in. What's today? Today's August 21st. They hyped up this storm that wasn't. I don't want to say it wasn't. Well, it hit, but it didn't. I'm looking at the footage and stuff like that, and this is nothing that we haven't seen in California, before. But I'm assuming that in the water, over the ocean, it was pretty bad. It just didn't come to the coast. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that's safe to say. And
Yeah.
I'm not in the ocean, so.
Yeah. You got to worry about the fish and the whales. They're like, oh shit.
Sharknado vibes.
But today's topic we're going back to the I don't know what to call these type of episodes. Transparency episodes. I guess. Yeah.
Real topics.
Real topics. Yeah. Ever since I started the show, I've just been going through shit. So at least some people on YouTube or social media like to pretend and like everything's hunky dory.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, I'm not like freaking struggling. I'm not like in a bad place, but I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You think your parents know, but when they were raising me, they were trying to figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard, like, well, things are still changing. And, both my parents are retired, so they chilling.
Yeah.
So now it's up to me to figure it out because things are different from when they were my age,
right. So different.
Yeah, I stay having arguments with my mom and, just save money and you can move out. Like, my brother did exactly what my mother said. He's back on the couch, because rent kept going up. He had, I think, $10,000 saved up. He went through that within the first year. It's like, you can save money, but things still cost money. And if you're not getting paid more to keep up, then you're going to fall behind. You can get a second job, but then you just stay hustling. There is no getting ahead. You get 2, 3, 4 jobs, and now you're drowning yourself because now you're not sleeping. And then you develop health problems. Then your insurance suck. And then the health problems get worse. It stacks on top of each other.
Yeah.
Certain generations just don't.
I think
They
that
don't
in
get
your mom's
that.
generation, saving money was the ideal option, but now I think you have to invest your money. Like, you have to grow your money because our pay is not keeping up with inflation.
No.
So it's like everything else, the cost keeps going up, but the pay is staying the same. So saving your money doesn't do anything when inflation is so bad.
Oh, let me pause this real quick. So we're like 3 minutes into this conversation, and I realized I didn't do an introduction. I just started talking. I went back to check to see how the audio was sounding, and I realized I'm next to the mic. I'm just recording this on my laptop, and there we go. I think this was gonna work.
Okay, that's better.
Yes. Now you see your spike now?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, I'm here with my sister from another mister, Miss Keisha Turner.
Yes. Hello, y'all.
What? She was here episode 10. Now I'm here staring her in the eye.
Live in action, Sacramento, California.
Yeah, there we go. So to get back to our topic, this is just basically like, I want to call it security, but like life security, like the people around you and your finances is just, I feel like what are we, millennials?
Yeah.
What year were you born?
92.
92?
Mhm.
I think you're like, I think we're the same, right?
Yeah. What year were you born?
83.
Yeah, you're a millennial.
Yeah. So, because I know it starts like at 79 or something like
Right.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we got it tough. And when I'm saying, cause with my mom growing up, she had it tough, and it's not like it was her living situation. I don't want to say it wasn't the economy. She was in I guess a poor family, you know, and she likes to bring that up a lot. But the thing is, she got through it. And I feel like she gives me shit because I'm not going through what she's going through, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm dealing with different issues, you know, mostly social issues.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as just growing up, because I was the fucking Toys R Us kid. I didn't want to grow up. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I was serious when I was singing that song, you know?
Yeah.
But, like I have a plan. My plans sort of work out. I get, like, if I was to grade my efforts, it'll be like maybe a B- to a C.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just when I see people on the street, like, I feel like if it wasn't for my mother, that I would be there, you know?
Oh, wow.
So it's just now that it's that time where I'm just like, I can't keep I don't want to be there anyway at freaking 42, 43, but at the same time, I can't do anything on my own, you know? I need a partner, or roommates, or there's no getting ahead on your own unless you balling. And it's hard to find that kind of job, you know?
Yeah.
You can go back to school and get in debt, but
I think you make a really good point, and I think a lot more people are living like this than we realize. But having a roommate or a dual income house really makes a difference in people's living situations in order to get ahead. But there are a lot of people who do live dual incomes, couples that are just scraping by. But I think what comes to my mind is, like, you have to sacrifice something for a little bit of time in order to get where you want to go. So I think a lot of people benefit from having roommates. I think that's just the reality of how we live, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So, I mean, I'm excited for what's to come for you, you know? And I think this topic is so relatable because your relationship with money and finances, it's survival for us, right? So it comes down to, like, survival instincts, and I always try to remind myself not to live from a lack mentality. Don't get stuck in that, to have gratitude for what you have, right? Because there are people that have way less or can't afford, right? We have family and friends that care about us enough. And to understand that we create our own reality. So all we have to do is bet on ourselves, take risk, and do things that we want to do. And if you really think about it, like, I'm going all deep here because you know how I am. But if you really think about it, how much time do we really have to live as adults? Life is very short.
Yeah. I'm like, I can remember my childhood like it was yesterday. Like, most of it is just, spending time with my dad and all the toys I had. Like, I remember that shit. I remember everything.
Really?
Yes. And now I look in the mirror and I see my gray hairs. I'm like, fuck, man, I'll be 40 in October.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit is just like, I remember 1983 and, like the early 90s, late 80s. And then my baby sister and, some of my coworkers who were born 20 years ago, they're like, fuck, you're old, man, the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck you.
But yeah, no, it's true. And I don't know if you feel this way, but years feel like months. Like this year is like, it's almost October. Like there's already pumpkin shit on the shelves right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, do what makes you happy. Take the risk, take the leap, get the job, leave the country, travel, go on that dumbass date that you know is not going to go anywhere. Hook up with that girl or whatever makes you happy, because you just don't know. So to me, it's like, well, at least especially when it comes to security, I know it's scary. And I feel like this topic is so relatable for so many people. But I feel like betting on yourself and going after whatever it is that makes you happy. Because I think a lot of times, I don't know if you agree with this, money doesn't buy happiness, but money does provide a sense of ease, right?
Yes.
It buys you access to you're a step up from survival because you're not worried about your basic needs, right? But something that I always hear lots of successful people say is follow your happiness and the money will come. And I know for me, that's a very scary thing because I grew up with a 9-to-5 mentality. So right now I'm working a job that pays my bills, but it doesn't make me happy. But when you're doing something you're passionate about, that you can wake up and do consistently without having to think about it, that makes me think, like, I'm pumping myself up right now. I'm getting hyped, but I'm not going to talk about it. But like when you wake up, like Corey, for you, like you love toys. You know what I mean? And that's so authentic to who you are as a person. And there's no way that you would ever be inconsistent with that.
No.
There's no fucking way, Corey.
It's just like when the last episode we were talking about, and we were talking about, like, who are we? And I brought up this character I created. I'm like, I'm not who I am if I'm not creating or living in this, like, fantasy world, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not like to a detriment where, like, Corey, get your head out of the clouds.
No.
It's just...
That's authentic to
That's
fucking
just
you.
who I am,
Yeah.
you know?
So, like, when I see you, like, you know, your equipment and how serious you take this kind of stuff, you guys, he has the most sickest voicemail of all time, by the way. I love leaving you. I don't ever leave voicemails, but I feel inclined to leave a voicemail every time I get your voicemail.
Well, I'll put an excerpt in here. Note to self, the sound of my voicemail.
Yes, please.
Hello, caller. I have been programmed to intercept your incoming communication and inform you the person you are trying to reach is currently inaccessible. Please leave a message after the tone, and I will save the voice data for future retrieval. Thank you.
But because it's so authentic, it makes me feel like if you were to take a leap in that direction and bet on yourself, you know, like, you would be successful because you'd be happy doing what you're doing and the money would follow eventually. So I'm excited to see where that goes for you.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber I've been following for well over a decade. Like, he had a baby, and this kid, I think, is like maybe 5 or 10. No, he's like 9 years old now. Like, I was at a live show, Philip DeFranco, where he's like, this is my newborn baby, and the kid is like making YouTube videos now.
Whoa.
I've been following him for that long. But he stayed making YouTube videos when he was just living in his parents' basement, you know? You know, he was roughing it, and now he's in a good spot. And like just the way you know, my parents are, like, they're kind of old-fashioned, you know, you need a real job. You know, I'm an artist. My brother's an artist. My little sister's an artist. We just have that in us, you know? So, but there are people out there making money doing what they love. So, to be told to, you know, quote unquote, get a real job, and like, how do you know you can do it unless you do it?
Right. You don't know.
Yeah. So it's like you miss every shot you don't take. So, like, I have 20K subscribers to this channel. I get like maybe 100 to 200 new subscribers every month. Like, if I stay consistent with my shit, I won't be rich, but I'll be okay. This will be a nice supplement to the struggle, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, I always wanted to be a producer, and, you know, to join the PGA, which is the Producers Guild of... Oh, my screensaver. Don't laugh at my Power Ranger screensaver. Producers Guild of America, and there's the new media producer. You know, how many, like, web shows and stuff that have you produced?
Yeah.
And the way to become a producer is to make shit. No one's gonna hire you if you haven't made anything.
Yeah.
So this is me doing the thing. Although I'd rather be doing something related to toys, you know, or photography. I feel like this is the first step, and I just gotta keep it going the best way I can, you know?
Yeah. So you guys comment below on the video. Consistency, Corey. Consistency.
No, don't give up, sir.
Yeah. No, but that's so true. And to me, like, that's something admirable about you, is that you're at least taking a step in the right direction. I feel like where I'm at, I'm still, which is so crazy to say this as a 30-year-old, but it's just the truth of where I'm at. I'm still figuring out who I am as a person, because for a long time my identity was wrapped around whoever I was dating. So like I'm figuring out what I love, and something that's been consistent for me is fitness. You know that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like, health and nutrition for me now is so much more than selling a product. I'm like of the belief that your body can heal itself. Poor Corey has listened to me talk about these health podcasts that I've been listening to for 3 days straight. Have you not?
Yes. And I'm just like, okay.
It's the same energy when he talks about toys.
Yeah. I was like, what did you say about Optimus who? This motherfucker turned into a truck. What?
Yeah. So I feel you on that. I do. And that's what I'm excited to do, is like learning that of myself and be able to take a step in that direction to see where it takes me.
I feel like, because when I met you, you're like, fit girl. But now I see you becoming more of a hippie.
I am. Oh my God.
So like I noticed, I didn't actually figure out who I was until recently.
Wow.
So just to let you know.
Don't get too excited. Yeah.
So you still growing. You're going to hit 35 and you feel like, I'm figuring it out. But then it's going to be another 5 years when it clicks. It may click sooner, it may click later.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it clicked for me. So now I have to grow and I need to gain experience as this new person that I am.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's fucking weird. I seen this this meme. I posted it. It's like, hold on, let me find it real quick. It's not a meme. It was a post. I posted a few days ago. Normalize finding love in your 40s. Normalize discovering and chasing new dreams in your 30s. Normalize finding yourself and your purpose in your 50s. Life doesn't end at 25. So stop acting like it does.
I love that so much.
Yeah. Because we have a couple of girls that I work with. And they are 25. And they swear like, oh my God, I'm turning 30. And I'm just like... And the rest of us, we're all in our early 40s and late 30s, and it's just like, shut up.
But you have to have empathy for them. Come on.
Yeah, because I was there.
Yeah.
When I turned 30, I was like, oh, it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
I still look young, and I'm beautiful and powerful.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for a look. You didn't give it to me.
No, because I believe that. No, it's true. And, it's funny because when you're young like that, it's like, you have this, it's so, when you really think about that, how stupid that mentality is, that you're going to have it all figured out by the time you're 25. And then I think back when I was 25, I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
I look at kids I said kids, look, goddamn, I'm old. I look at people in their 20s and I'm just like, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
There are some people in their 20s that figured it out. I'm like, good for you.
Yeah.
But then it's like 20s is the new teenagers.
Yeah.
Teenagers are like literal children. They're just fucking around.
Yeah.
And 30s is the new 20s.
Yeah.
And the 40s are the new 30s.
And I think that has a lot to do with the way the generations have changed, because if you think about it, like my grandparents were having kids at 17 and 18, buying a house, having a career. And guess what? Because they did all of those really great things in society as far as buying a home and having a career, they were horrible parents. So then the generation after that, my mom and dad, they didn't really have the best parents, like as far as nurturing, right? So I feel like
it's like kids raising kids,
right? So then it's like our parents, that generation, I feel like it was a confusing time of like they wanted to give us what they didn't get. Maybe they over nurtured us, but it's like it's a dynamic. Like it just got fucked up. So basically what I'm saying is I feel like as millennials, we're in this weird space, like Gen Z or Gen X or whatever the hell it is. They're born with all this technology. We grew up without it. Now we have it. It's weird. It's just such a confusing place to be.
We're like the middle child of
Yeah.
the generation.
Exactly. And we're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And I think that's a good message for everybody. Is something I always remind myself is never to judge anyone about where they're at in life, because someone on the street could be me tomorrow. right?
Yes.
You never fucking
Yes.
know, and you never know what someone's going through, and we're all just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's why I work in medical, and sometimes patients call and they're just like, kind of rude. But I always try to. I mean, sometimes they're rude and they're just like terrible people.
Yeah.
At other times they're just trying to get help and they're just frustrated. So
Right.
I always try to sympathize with what they're going through, because I know the healthcare system is jacked up. Like, we was having a conversation this morning. It's just like, oh, you ain't got the right insurance, you ain't got the money. Guess you're gonna stay sick and die.
Yeah.
And then that's just how it is.
Yeah.
There's a anime on Netflix, Cyberpunk 2099 or something like that, and it's an extreme version of what we have. Like, the paramedics showed up, and they checked the person's insurance, and it's like, oh, we ain't got it. They just left the body there, and they took off.
Wow.
It was some crazy shit, and then I think he had to. I think the character's mother had like this really low tier insurance, and she was taken to this back alley dude, and it was just dirty and grimy, and she just died on the table or something like that.
Holy shit.
It was so fucked up, and corporations rule the country. So like, you're going to school to work for a company, so you're just sort of, oh, this is a good company you want to work for. I feel low key that's kind of how I feel like things are.
Yeah.
Like, if things keep going the way they're going, it's just like, oh, you want to work for freaking Coca-Cola, you go to Coca-Cola school and you just learn to run that company,
Yeah.
I'm like, if things don't get right, we'll be just like that fucking show. But
Yeah.
it's this thing of money profits over people, and it's just makes things hard for people, and then like, the media will distract you. Oh, look at these brown people, look at these gay people, all the while those people, like, certain people in a political sphere be like, yeah, it's their fault, and then the people they're voting for are stealing from them,
Oh, yeah.
and then blaming the other side. Look, they're taking your money, and everything is there. If you do your homework, you can see what's happening, but no one does the homework. Like, I feel like to see the future, you have to look into the past, because humans always repeat history, and the answers are always there. Like, if we're not careful, we can have another Hitler. If we're not careful, we can have a third. We almost did it. You almost had another world war. With what's going on with Russia and stuff like that. So, like, and people always try to bury history, because like, that's where the answers are, because we already been there.
And I think that's a really good reason why it's so important as individuals that we do not forget our uniqueness, and we stay authentic and true to who we are as people and follow our own path. Because I think being consumed by these trends, and I know social media is like, it's like a
follow the trends,
right? Like, oh, everybody wants to be accepted. Socialization is so important as human beings. We all want to be accepted. But the thing is we were designed to be different. None of us are the same. We all have our own individuality and our uniqueness. And I feel like the moment we deny ourselves to express that authenticity, we are really disrespecting ourselves and our opportunity to live this magnificent life. So it's like, no matter what it looks like, what you like, what your interest is, like, there should be no shame, because I feel like once we get into those, like, for instance, you having empathy for these patients, right? You're saying profits over people. But if we all stay authentic to our own selves, if you're not bitter because you're showing up at a job you fucking hate, if you're not bitter because you're married to someone you're not really in love with, and you stay true to yourself, you're going to have more in your bucket to give to others.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's important. It's like, if I'm a happier Keisha, I'm going to be a better daughter, I'm going to be a better sister, a better friend, a better girlfriend, and etc. And we can all be better people. I think it really starts with doing something in your life that brings you genuine happiness.
I feel like that's The problem with most people is that they're not happy or they don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people who I worked with. I went on dates with people like this, that they had kids when they're young and they don't know anything outside of being a mother.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Who are you? What do you like to do? What hobbies do you have? I don't know. I just raise my kids. I watch the movies they watch. You know? They have no identity outside of that.
Yeah.
And
there are people that do that with their careers.
yeah.
People that spend thousands of dollars on an education and they become a doctor or whatever it may be, and that's a beautiful thing, but their whole identity is
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor. It's like, well, what do you like to do? I don't know.
And they just stay working.
Right. And the thing is, it's like,
You know?
none of us are our labels. We are
Yes.
so much more than your career, your ethnicity, your sexual orientation.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. Like, that's not who you are. That is what you do.
Yeah, that's one thing I hate about, because I dated this girl and she was real big on labels. She was like a ska girl, kind of gothy.
Mm-hmm.
And she was really big because I just labeled everything as goth, and she's like, that's not goth, that's this, that's, you know, that's whatever. And she was just really big on, she would get mad at me if I meant, you know.
See, that's too much for me. Because this is the thing. If you really think about labels, this is my genuine belief, you know, not everybody has to agree, but labels were created to divide us.
Yes.
You are this, I'm this, so we can't coexist. No. Like, it doesn't matter. You know, like, we don't have to use labels as people. To understand, sure. Like, you use a label to understand something, but
Yes.
then that's where it should stop, right? And I think this whole idea of political correctness, especially on social media, it's like, it drives me up the fucking wall, Corey. I can't stand it, right?
Yeah.
Because political correctness diminishes the ability to have a controversial conversation with somebody. You're not saying it right. And then it's like, you know, like,
that was this thing with this news group I watch, TYT, and one of the hosts, Anna, kind of went off on this thing because I guess I don't really understand the concept of it, but I guess for the transgender people to be more inclusive to, you know, woman versus trans woman, you know, cis woman versus trans woman, they want to label women as birthing person. And then I'm like, but then that's taken away from a woman, you know?
yeah.
And then there's already a term trans woman and cis woman, you know?
Yeah.
So why you need to, because women stay going through terrible shit. So why you need to just label them as birthing person when there's all these abortion issues going on? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a dumb, like, another person, she's a trans activist, I follow her. That was another issue that it was calling trans, but she is, that's what she is, but again, political correctness.
Exactly.
But she had a whole 2-hour video about that subject, and it's like if you say the wrong thing, everybody's coming after you. Oh, these motherfuckers are right-wing propagandists. I'm like, you can misspeak, you can make a mistake. It's like you're not allowed to make mistakes on the internet, you know?
And
It's just like if a white person said nigger with a hard R, you know, even if they're reading a passage, like maybe a cop said, you know, to whatever he was doing. She said nigger that one time. Or a comedian that may have done blackface, you know, 10 years ago. Are they still doing it now? You know, don't hold, you know, let those who without sin cast the first stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all fucking up here on a daily basis. So if someone, look, Lillian over here. Just,
Sorry, my dog.
I lost my train of thought.
Lily, stop. Anyway, you're saying
Yes.
basically people like the cancel.
People change. And if that person is still the same asshole, then yeah, condemn them. But if they change, don't hold their accountable for their sins when they didn't do anything.
Exactly. And the thing is, I think it's so sad to think about. I love watching The Bachelor. Okay. This is my kryptonite. It's the stupidest, the most dumbest show. Okay. But something that I find so interesting is that we grew up with MySpace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we had the Facebook, right? And I don't know about you, but I look back sometimes and my posts will come up in memories and it is the cringiest shit. I'm like, oh my God, who let me have a fucking keyboard? Okay. Right. But you think about people now, right? Kids now that are growing up with the internet at their fingertips, right? And you think about cancel culture. So in 20 years, and I'm using The Bachelor as an example, these people go on national TV, on reality TV, and for whatever reason, people think when you're on TV, you're not a real person. So these keyboard warriors come at them and they put these really horrible comments on their pages about a post they made when they were 17 because their whole life has been on the internet.
Yeah.
And they condemn them for something they said when they were a teenager, right?
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking, can you imagine if we would have had the internet at our fingertips when you were 8, the shit that someone could say? Corey, look what you said, right? You know, like, we all, like, this whole cancel culture has got to stop because I feel like when you condemn people to this, like, hell that they can't come back from, they're not allowed to change, you stop people from growing and learning.
Yes.
And it's not fair.
Yeah. It's, I like, if I become famous and somebody gonna dig some shit up, I always kind of watch what I say, but like I will never apologize for some shit that I said 20 years ago. I will never do it.
Yeah.
Because like if it was directed towards you, then I'll be like, hey Billy, I'm sorry for saying that thing 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But then if it's just a generic statement, if I said, I can't stand women, they breath stink, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was like, but why would you get offended? Yeah, am I talking about you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
You know what's funny about that is there's a quote by Morgan. I don't know who said it, but I remember reposting it a long time ago on Facebook. It says, because, you know, people like to post subliminal shame, like on the internet, like about they're talking about something specific in their life, but they're making a general, like you said,
statement, yeah.
right? So they'll group a bunch of people together, like talking about baby daddies, but in reality, they're talking about their baby daddy. But they don't, but they don't want to put that, right?
Yeah.
So I found this quote that says, "If the shoe fits, lace that bitch up and wear it." So when I read general posts, okay, I'm not about to lace it up if it ain't about me. So it's like, don't take it personal. You know, it's basically
it's like it's kind of the same. Like I always know because I have a lot of lady friends, and I always know when they break up with their boyfriends. Like,
oh my God, the quotes.
I always know. And then I just like, oh, I guess that's over.
It's so hilarious because we all do it. It's the cryptic quotes start coming on social media every time.
That's why I have my close friends, and then I post that stuff for those 5 or 10, 11 people to see. You know what I mean? And that's where all my cringe stuff is.
Right? Yeah. You know, I'm gonna do that.
So I just, you know, I just post everything. I don't, because I like to document. That's kind of always been my thing.
Yeah.
And I was talking to this girl. She was Native American. I'm 5'7.5", and she was 6 feet. 6 feet tall. So I was excited. I was like, I finally get to date a tall girl. But that didn't work out. But I was just kind of documenting our conversations. You know, I would post it in my close friends on Instagram, and you know, people seen it, and then it didn't end well. You know, I never met her, but you know, it just kind of ended before it started, and you know, I said some things, and you know, that was that.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of like don't incriminate yourself on the fucking internet. You know.
Yeah.
That kind of took a left turn. I don't know what kind of statement I was trying to make, but I was just trying to make a point in regards to the dating issue thing.
Yeah.
and you know, just say what you gotta say or say it to that person. That's just some going back to the social media thing and like kind of being yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of one thing I don't like about TikTok is that the lip syncing thing. You know, it's just like you're encouraged to be like someone else or to mimic someone else.
Yeah.
And that's like every time, you know, I follow a lot of muscle mommies and cute girls on Instagram, and every time they post something like that, I don't watch it. I skip it because I think that shit is cringy. You know what I mean?
First of all, let's go ahead and address the fact that Corey showed me what a muscle mommy is and what the actual fuck.
It's just a fit girl. What do you mean?
No, you guys, this isn't fit. This bitch is in competition. Her body fat percentage is 7%. Okay, I'm thinking mommy fitness is like, you know, like a cute mom.
Oh, not a mom. When I say mommy, that's like when you call your dude daddy.
Wow.
Yes.
My bad, guys.
That's what mommy is.
Oh, I'm thinking mom, mother.
No, not when I say like mommy, I mean like ooh mommy. You know what I mean? Not like like
That's
someone's
why when
mother.
when you showed me the picture, I was like, wow. Oh my god.
That's why you was confused. I was so like, I don't get it. Why are you so offended?
I know. I need you to use better context because when I seen that, I was like, these are mothers?
No. Like, you know, it's just like, you know, like Zaddy.
Got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Misunderstanding. Oh my god.
Oh Lord! If you follow me on Twitter or threads, you can see all the reposts of the fit girls I like to follow.
I think we should have a series.
Huh.
We can see what your subscribers think, but I think we should get together like weekly or something and discuss topics of like what's going on, trends, things like this. Because I'm on TikTok, but I don't really post anymore. But you know, these trends that come up that are like a lot of people are doing. Corey just recently shared with me something my boyfriend had showed, like these people.
What was it?
They're saying the emojis on live. Fire.
I forgot what that's called. The NPC imitators.
Fire.
Like, ice cream's so good. Ice cream's so good. Fire, yeah.
Right. Because this is something that I'm really interested in. I wonder if other people have this interest. Is the long-term implications of the type of social media use that we have. Because technically we don't know the implications of social media on people's psyche because we are the generation realistically that, right? So like if you think about it today, people who have kids, basically from the time the baby comes out of the vagina, they're on social media. Right? And I'm thinking, it makes me curious to know how that's going to play out in the future, how it affects us and our mental health, right? And so when we're talking about security, authenticity, political correctness, it all kind of folds in together. I guess is a good segue is that, you know, you're encouraged not to really be yourself online because you're afraid of getting canceled and afraid to be your authentic self. So we kind of play this role, right? But
it's just even the way people judge you and how your body looks. Oh, look, she's fat. Oh, the dark one messes up the picture and so on and so forth.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah. I seen the comment. She was hella. She was the prettiest one in the group. But she was, I don't know how to say it, but she was like African dark, you know, she was black, you know.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, the dark one messes. I was just like, that's fucked
That's
up.
so fucked up. The fact that someone even has the courage to type that, it's like.
That's not how I feel like people are saying, oh, like the government already got tags on us. So I feel like if you're going to have a social media account, then your identity needs to be attached to it. And I feel like people will say, because there are some people are bold and will say some shit to your face, but most people won't.
Yeah. I think people will be bold and say something to your face, but never to the degree that they would. Because you're making a comment about someone's appearance with there's no reason. Like for instance, if they were to have an altercation and she wanted to say something vulgar, fine. But you're just going to walk up to someone on the street and say your complexion's fucking up the picture? You would never. Exactly. That's exactly my point. You have no context to be speaking to someone that way.
Exactly. It's out of control. And I don't know. I mean, like, people will always be shitty, but it's just the fact that you know, the blue check marks just, when I say that, I mean like people on Twitter, because you know, in a lot of brown cosplayers, you know, and just the harassment they get for dressing up as a character who's lighter, you know.
Wow.
And that's a whole nother topic. I'm sorry.
So let us know if we should do a series, you guys. I think it would be fun.
I mean, I'll do it anyway because it's just content.
Oh, sorry.
I need ideas because each episode is a fucking challenge. You know, Power Rangers is coming out. The last series for a while.
We should really do this, Corey. Like, we could pick a different pop topic every Tuesday or something and discuss it.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to do it.
And I'm trying to get him to move to NorCal, guys. It's in the works.
I mean, it's gonna happen. It's just the funding. You know, I got to make sure I'm good.
Yeah.
'Cause-
So subscribe. I need a friend in NorCal. The urgency is real.
But yeah. Anything you want to wrap up on, or?
I think a good way to wrap this up is just the fact that everyone you know in life, me knowing you, you knowing whoever, right? Mm-hmm. We're all connected to something bigger and larger. And I feel like when it comes to security, relationships, happiness, it all boils down to one thing, is you only have control of yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And this is, when I'm talking out loud, it's so funny. Like, sometimes I feel like talking to someone is so healing for myself because it's something I need to hear. I'm talking to you, right? Mm-hmm. But this is a message for me, is like the gift and the way that you can pour into life and contribute to the collective is by staying true to myself, by staying true to you. And that is going to impact every aspect of our lives, financially, emotionally, relationally. So that's what I'm taking from this episode, is to pour into Keisha, right? Mm-hmm. And to stay authentic in that way. And whatever comes of that is going to be beautiful no matter what it is.
Yeah, one thing I noticed growing up, like a lot of people sacrifice their friendships for their relationships. Mm. And I feel like friendship is eternal so long as you foster it, you know? Mm-hmm. Because the people you are with, because you know divorce rates and shit in America, you know, relationships change. Some people are lucky to die with that person next to them. Other people, they grow apart. But the one thing you always have is, you know, your friends, you know, and I feel like people throw that away, or they don't. Like, if you have a family with someone, that's important. But also, it's like, people don't know balance. It's either black or it's white. But people don't realize the world is gray. Mm. You get what I mean? And there's different ways to do the right thing. And there's different ways to have relationships with people. And people shouldn't be so focused on doing things the Christian way or the Republican way or the Democratic way or the leftist way or the whatever fucking way there is, you know? Because we're all here just trying to figure it out. And the people with the answers don't necessarily have the answers. You know? Mm. And some people are out just saying wild shit because they get paid to say wild shit. Mm-hmm. So it's all about just being cool with people. Just be fucking cool with people. Yeah. You know? If you don't like someone, don't fuck with them. Yeah. If you don't like how they dress, don't fuck with them. You know, if they got a dog, you don't like dogs, don't fuck with them. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? If he's a boy and he wears a dress, you don't like it, don't fuck with him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just be cool. No. Just be cool with people, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm not an urban person. You know, when people look at me, they will assume that, do you like basketball? You know? But I don't necessarily associate myself with those types of black people, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I do have those type of people in my life that I care about, you know? But it just, I feel like I don't fit in with that. Right. So I don't associate with it, you know? I don't go disrespecting those people. Look at them niggers over there, you know what I mean? I don't do that. I know people in my family do that, but I'm like, why are you saying that to those, you know what I mean? It's kind of fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, all you have to do is just respect the people around you, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
That is the key to life, is just treat people the way you want to be treated.
Exactly.
Regardless of what they fucking doing, you know?
Right.
That's pretty much all I have to, that's all I got.
You just triggered a bunch of topics in my head. So I'm like, all right, wait till next time.
But, yeah, let the people of the Dynacast know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram. Just call me Kaish. Kaish is spelled Kaish with 3 H's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't post a ton, but it's a good time.
As you know, I am C. Gibson Rex, Instagram and Threads. I have only reason why I'm on Twitter, or X as they call it now, is just to follow the people in Japan, because apparently Japan hasn't jumped ship yet, and all the content I used to find on Twitter is just kind of not there anymore. So I just, all the cool Japanese robots and stuff, and superheroes. That's the only reason why I be on Twitter is for that shit. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Peace out.
Bye.